Okay, we'll get the meeting started at 7 o'clock. And we don't have a whole lot to do tonight, so we'll be in good shape. Need a motion to approve the agenda?
I move we approve the agenda.
Support. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You need to get Kelly.
Yeah, we need to do a roll call because of our Zoom participants.
Okay.
Kelly, can you tell me what city and county you're in right now?
I'm in the city of Perry, Shiawassee County.
Thank you. Thanks.
Carol, in favor of the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, Larry?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Genevieve?
Yes.
Bob, yes. And a motion to approve, does everybody have a copy of the minutes?
Yes.
I move that we approve the minutes of the January 4th, 2021 meeting as printed.
Support.
Carol?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Genevieve?
Yes.
Bob, yes.
Kelly, do you support approval
Yes.
of minutes? Thank you.
Okay, new business, do we have any new business that we need to cover?
I got a couple of FYIs for the group, but as you may or may not be aware, the city council with Sue as the mayor have set up, I believe a total of 7 standing committees that are now staffed into place. One of those standing committees is finance and ordinance, and we have been given the assignment, actually Mindy and I and Adam Grass make up that committee, have been given the assignment to look at the ordinance for A-frame signs that's been on a moratorium for approaching 2 years now, well over 18 months. So we're in the process of currently doing that. Haven't made any decisions. We're still formulating as a work group what revisions, not only to the A-frame portion of the ordinance, but possibly the whole sign ordinance to formulate some proposals to carry forward. And then I know you've got it a little later on the agenda, but one of the other work groups is the Business Affairs and Technology work group. That's myself, Mindy, and Adam again. And we were just given the assignment at the last council meeting to begin to look at what we might do to improve communications within the city, and specifically to start with, take a look at our website in terms of what can be done to improve it, and potentially look at evaluating other websites for other options. So we're just barely getting started with that activity right now, so keep you posted.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else for new business? Old business, the rezoning from residential to commercial of 644 Madison Street. The owners withdrew their request. DDA, it came up at council meeting about the DDA, and they discussed it at great length and came up that Justin Sprague is going to provide a quote for coming up with the amount of money that would be removed from the city budget by the DDA being formed. So that seems to be the big hang-up for everybody. Larry, do you agree with that?
That's one of the questions that we've got. We still have some questions relative to how we might establish the boundaries of the DDA, as well as some questions concerning what grant money within Michigan we might be available to receive with or without a DDA. In other words, how much potential grant money are we losing out on if we don't have a DDA versus going forward to put one in place. So at least those are some of the preliminary questions. Mindy, anything to add?
We have been in touch with the attorney. We're just waiting for his input. And,
Yeah, so there are a series of questions that I believe Sue has passed on to the
Yes.
attorney that came up as a result of last council meeting's discussion. So I think the outcome of some of those might help to clarify what our next steps might in reality be. I'm sure we're going to be talking about it this Thursday again.
Do you know if Craig's gonna bring that to this Thursday's meeting,
Bring,
the quote?
I'm not sure whether he's going to bring that or not.
we have
I
that.
think we have it, don't we?
Yeah, we had it at the last meeting.
For the
For
boundary,
CIP?
the
For
financial, I mean, is he gonna bring the results of that to the meeting?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, he had to do some work to get that put together.
Mhm.
Is he gonna have that, do you know, for Thursday's meeting?
We had it at last meeting.
We had, let me try to separate, Bob. Are we talking about what the quote was if we approved going forward to establish the tax base, if you will? Or actually having the work done?
I thought that $3,000 was already going ahead.
No,
Okay,
no, we tabled that until we've got the results of the attorney's feedback on the questions
okay.
before we're ready to approve the roughly $3,000 to proceed.
Okay, of course, that'll be reduced or taken off the final.
That'll be
quote.
taken off if
Yeah.
we were to let going with that company against their entire quote, which I believe was a little under 17,000.
And did anybody look at Rose's quote?
Pardon?
Did anybody look at Rose's quote?
Yeah, I've looked at both of them.
Rose's quote was $27,000 with all the add-ins.
With all the add-ins, yes, I think the base number was 18,000, I
Yeah,
believe, I don't have it in front of me.
Just as a basis of comparison, 3 years ago, that was 12.
So it went from 12 to 18, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion on the DDA? Oh, by the way, the planning commission, if this is approved, will be the DDA board. So,
Now, is that a change from last time? I thought there was some businessmen on last time.
that was the work group, the advisory group that we put together to do it. We can have more people on there, but because of our population, it's suggested that the planning commission be the board, which will, once it gets rolling and started, I would guess we'll meet twice a year, is what we meet.
And I'm sure we'll have more discussion as to whether or not there's any business representation that's added as part of the DDA committee going forward.
Yeah.
So do we still have to establish a new map, or can we use the old one that we had back then?
Well, the map that we had before included the four corners up there. And Justin Sprague from CIB stated that he would suggest that we have a large DDA to start. And the reason for that is that if you start with a small DDA and try to expand it, you have to go back to the outside entities and get their approval for contributing their portion of the taxes to the DDA. If we start out with a large DDA and we decide to reduce it, we don't have to go to them, we just stop taking their money. So he said it's a whole lot easier to go from a large to a small, and the map that Justin Sprague has, is the large one that included that up there in the four corners. That's what he's basing everything on. And it was funny because I was looking at my computer this past summer and saw all the DDA stuff in there. And I thought, well, I might as well get rid of all that. And I was very close to hitting delete, but I didn't. And I'm glad now I didn't do it. Okay, should we discuss Parks and Recreation at all?
I think right now my vote would be that we continue to have it tabled.
Okay.
One of the other standing committees that's been formed by the council is a Park and Recreation Standing Committee. And I believe Bob Porter is the chair of that, and he has scheduled, and there's not an agenda, but a meeting schedule published that once a month they're gonna meet. I think it's up here on the 4th Tuesday of the month, if I remember it correctly. So I anticipate that there'll be some new information coming out of that committee going forward.
Okay. Fee and schedule and penalty discussion, anything on that? Okay. Information on the website? Did we
As I
come up-
mentioned, we've got the work group that's been formed. I think one of the open questions was whether or not we had a good link to information as it regards Rob Keyhole and the building permits and various other mechanical, electrical permits. We didn't change it, but in reality now it's pretty straightforward and easy to get to Rob's page on our website with one click. And does a reasonably good job, not that there couldn't be further improvements, but a reasonably good job of getting you right to the building permit information as well as the other permits and a link to the fee schedule. So I think it's easier to find, not that as we go forward, not that there may not be some additional work to be done as we sort through the other enhancements to the web.
Okay. Kelly, if you have anything, pipe up and say something.
I will. I will. Okay.
Thank you, Kelly.
I didn't hear it. Did she say she had anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. I-1 and I-2 zoning ordinance, discussion on that?
I will have more in April.
Okay. Then I'll just put table. All right, is there anything else we need to cover?
Do we have any idea when the results of the census will be completed? I know with COVID and everything else going on, because I know at one time we said that we would discuss what our next action steps were with our master plan after we got the results of the census.
I don't have any idea. I don't know when.
Okay.
Whenever somebody gets around to doing it. All right, any other questions, comments? Mindy?
You know how Craig is?
Do what?
Does anyone know how Craig is really?
He is fine. He said he had another obligation for tonight.
Okay. But he's all better?
Well, I guess he sounded okay. Well, we can sit here and look at each other for 45 more minutes if you want. Nothing else? All right, I guess we'll adjourn the meeting.